What's up, guys? My name is Mr. Green, and in this video, we're continuing my David Fincher series of reviews leading up to Mank, and next up is The Game. So The Game is David Fincher's second or third film. I mean, if you count Alien 3, it's his third. If you don't count it, like I don't, you say it's his second. And it's about Michael Douglas. It's his brother, Sean Penn, gives him like a sort of coupon to go to this place and like do a game, is what they call it, and like it'll change your life and all that. But oh my god, this movie's so trippy. Oh my god. So if you're wondering why this review is coming to you like a week after my last one, it's not because I'm lazy. No, It's not that I just didn't feel like recording. It's not really. It's because this movie is just so much, and I needed a minute to just comprehend the things that my brain just witnessed. I mean, the confusion and just the whatness of all of it was just a lot to process. So I'm just gonna get into it. I'm gonna be talking about what's trippy, talking about what's still trippy, and again, I don't have a Blu-ray because up until I started researching for this video, I didn't know there was a regular Blu-ray. I thought it was just the Criterion, and those aren't cheap, which is why I don't really have any. And, you know, so another installment of Prime review, or streaming review, which is the Prime section, so you're getting two back-to-back. I promise, next time it's gonna be a Blu-ray. I own Fight Club on Blu-ray, coming to you at some point in life. Let me just start. Alright, so what did I like? Michael Douglas is amazing in this movie. I haven't seen like a ton of his films. I've seen a few of them, but of what I've seen of him, this is his best performance. He is mesmerizing. He keeps you riveted, like his mannerisms, and like you just like by looking at him, you can already tell so much about him. Not technically specifics, but you can like get the details of what his personality is like. Sean Penn was also really good in the film. I wish he was in it a bit more because he was pretty good. That one scene where he's arguing with him about the keys on the stairs. Also spoilers, by the way, because I'm going to talk about the ending at some point. But that whole scene, I mean, they had me like, I was there. They grabbed onto me. They latched on with their hooks and their claws, and they just like dragged me here and said, hey, you're going to be suspenseful. You're going to be terrified. You're going to be invested. Then we're going to end. I'll get there. And yes, if you couldn't tell by what I've already said, this movie is extremely suspenseful. My favorite scene of the film is when a cab driver kind of hijacks Michael Douglas in his cab, and he kind of drives it into like the lake or the ocean. And I was getting some kind of Daredevil vibes, because, you know, I saw Daredevil before this, and I was like, that's what they were paying homage to. Man, that was a great scene in Daredevil, but I like the scene here a bit more, just because, you know, did it first, and also like some of the things that came back into play, which is really nice. Another thing is that this film is also freaking creepy. This is a spooky movie. I watched this like on the 4th of November, and I wish I saw it last month because that gave me the shivers and tingles of fear down my spine. I mean, that freaking clown when they took over the TV. Just this whole kind of like shadow around like the company, CRS, I think it was, and like when they were in the cabin, and like what's her? I can't remember her name, but this lady, she was also really good in the film. But when she drugs him, like, oh, my heart was like da 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 da. Then he wakes up in freaking Mexico, and then he has to like break out of the grave. And then just has to find a way to get back. I mean, oh my god. This keeps you riveted. It keeps your attention. It holds you there. Fincher is a master of suspense. I know that's technically Hitchcock's title, but you see all of these? Haven't seen them. So I don't know. They could be comedies for all I know. Except I actually know they're not. I know they're suspenseful, but I haven't seen them. I can't speak on them. I haven't seen them, so joke's on you. I was gonna watch Psycho last month, but then just slipped my mind. I decided to watch Candyman instead. I'm glad. Candyman's amazing. But I digress. The suspense is handled extremely well, and I do think it's due to Fincher's directing And the script is also pretty good. Again, aside from, I don't even know if I like the end or not. I don't know how to feel about it. You know, I praised it. I praised the essential elements, the cast, the suspense, the direction. Let's talk about the end. Okay. So if you saw my Letterboxd review, you know that I didn't give it any kind of stars or liked because I needed to process it. Like I needed to think about what I just saw. Because honestly, I couldn't tell you if I liked it or not because this ending is super ridiculous. I mean, for the one part, saying that like they're all actors and like how it kind of throws like a sort of another like kind of mystery into the mix, like that keeps you on like suspenseful or engaged. And then when he pulls out the gun that they say is real and she starts freaking out, I mean, oh my god. I mean, then I was like, I was sold on that, and then you're like, there's people behind there to say, happy birthday with you with champagne. And like, I was like, you know what, I'm kind of buying it. And I was like, okay, but I better not shoot them because apparently it's a real gun. Then he shoots Sean Penn in like the chest, and then he dies. And then I was like, oh my god. And then I thought like and then he jumps off, and I was like, oh, if he dies now, then oh my god, this is gonna be like ridiculous. This is gonna be an amazing film, probably one of his best. And then he does jump, and he crashes through. And then I was kind of confused for a minute because he landed on that big black thing, and I was like, oh, I guess it caught him. So I was like, alright, fine, I guess he'll survive. But then they're like, hey, be careful, you don't want the glass to get in your eyes. It's, I don't know, something. And then I was like, wait, it's still. And then they come out again, and I'm like, bruh. I mean, the fact that you were actors was bad enough because, honestly, two things happen. One, it kind of de-intensifies the rest of the movie. And second, I mean, how did they pull off that stuff like that banker in Mexico? I mean, how did they do that, really? But you know what? I was like, fine, I'll buy into it. It's movie magic, movie logic. All right, okay, he killed his brother and then he jumps. All right, that's it. But then when it's like, oh, it's not dead. We knew about this gun. It was all fake. And then he comes up and he was like, oh, I'm alive. And they're like, yay, we're all happy. And then he asks, what's her face out on a date? And the movie ends. If I was tricked by my brother to make me think that I shot and killed him, and then I jumped out off a roof to kill myself, and then they're like, got him, oh, pranks, oh, ho, ho, I would kill him for real. I would take one of those steak knives that these people were enjoying their party food with and stab him repeatedly in the face. This is ridiculous. This is absurd. Honestly. I mean, good lord. I don't have a sibling. Anyone with siblings, from what I've seen, they already want to kill their siblings. But if they were tricked by their siblings that they did kill them, and then they tried to kill themselves in retaliation, I think they would kill them and then probably kill themselves for real. I mean, this is ridiculous. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've thought about it. The movie's not ruined by this. I think, and the ending's just really kind of confusing, more than just bad. I mean, but it just kind of racked my brain around and just kind of confused me, boggled me, so to speak. But sibling rivalry is already bad enough when you're not thinking that you killed yourself due to one of them, so that's my rant on the ending. But I have this little theory, because when they go down, I was getting kind of like, when he goes out of the window and then breaks through the glass and he's like, hey, you didn't actually kill me. My kind of thought process was when I first saw this was like, I was getting some Overlook Shining vibes, like from like the Overlook Hotel, and I was like, is he actually like dead and this is like his afterlife or his purgatory or something? I'm not super sure about that because, like, again, like some of the actors are still there, and what's her face is like, oh, I'm gonna go over here, and she didn't die. So I mean, unless if I don't know, unless if like he's just like envisioning that in his own kind of like hell or something. But I was like, that's a good thought. Like if you absolutely hate the ending and you won't accept it at all, because I accept it, I'm just confused by it. But if like you loathe it and you're like, this ruins everything, I can never watch this movie again, because I can watch it again. But if you don't, if it tanks the ending tanks the movie for you, just watch it with that lens. Like, this is his purgatory, and he actually died. So just keep that in mind, and that's my rant on the ending. So yeah, the game is really, really good up until that ending, which kind of Yahtzees my brain cells. But as a whole, I like the film. I'll watch it again, so I'm going to give the game a B. Okay, we're back talking about that Prime, high quality HD. Again, Amazon's Amazon, but I wasn't experiencing that many technical difficulties. I just reset the Wi-Fi, so it was probably like extra strong. That's at least how my brain works. And it looked pretty good. Like, the blacks were pretty black. There were some shots where it looked a bit muddy. It sounded pretty good. It was like overall like a pretty solidness in like the streaming, cause yeah, I mean, there's not a whole lot I can really say about it, cause it was just pretty solid. It worked out pretty well. Like the whole when he gets submerged by water, that's when like I thought like it sounded its best down there, but I wasn't getting any like surround sound or ultimate audio, and it didn't look like 4K or anything. It was probably like somewhere in between 720 and 1080p, like somewhere like closer to 1080 but farther than 720, just like a bit towards like this area. So it wasn't the worst. It was pretty fine, and I would buy this movie on Blu-ray, and I would probably eventually, after I get a few criterions, I'd probably add it to my collection, because there are some criterions I would like to get, like mainly like most of the Chaplin films, Doctor Strangelove, Seven Samurai, let me think, what are some of the ones? The Irishman, I'm glad that one came out. I'm not gonna get Parasite though, I already own Parasite, so, I mean, Parasite literally got a 4K, a Blu-ray, and a Criterion. That's like everything. I think it even has steelbooks. I mean, it's literally everything. It's transcended everything. So, good on them. I don't know why I'm ranting about here. Buy it on Blu-ray, add it to your collection. If you really like the movie, buy the Criterion, and enjoy. So guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Leave a comment down below to tell me what you thought about it. Subscribe. Once we get to 50, I'm going to do something, because, you know, this couch is, it's fine. The lighting could be better, so if you want better everything, subscribe and get us to 50, and I'll see you next time.